I have an absolute chefter bomb for you today that is going to send shockwaves through the entire state of Minnesota and beyond. This is the kind of news that keeps general managers up at night and makes head coaches look nervously at their contact lists. My sources are telling me that the Minnesota Vikings defensive room is currently under a massive siege from two of the most high-profile franchises in the National Football League. This isn't just a minor rumor. This is a developing situation involving one of the most respected minds in the building. Before we dive into the intricate details of this potential departure and what it means for the future of the purple and gold defense, I need you to do 3 things for me right now. First, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you cannot afford to miss a single update on this developing story. Second, smash the like button to show the world that the Skol Nation is the strongest fan base in professional sports. Third, I want to hear from you directly. Comment below with the name of the city you are watching from right now. We want to see how far the Vikings' reach truly goes. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter. Reports are surfacing from multiple high-level insiders, including Yardbarker, that Vikings defensive backs coach Durante Jones has officially become a primary target for defensive coordinator roles across the league. Specifically, the New York Jets and the Dallas Cowboys have expressed serious interest in interviewing Jones for their vacant DC positions. This is a massive development because it signals that the league has taken notice of the incredible work being done under the radar in Minneapolis. Durante Jones is not just any assistant. He is a cornerstone of the secondary development that we have seen over the last 2 seasons. Jones rejoined the Vikings in 2022 after a stint as the defensive coordinator at LSU, and since then, his stock has done nothing but rise. When you look at the progression of players like Cam Bynum and the emergence of Josh Metellus as a versatile Swiss Army knife, you have to look directly at the coaching of Durante Jones. The fact that the Dallas Cowboys, led by Mike McCarthy, and the New York Jets are both knocking on his door tells you everything you need to know about his reputation in coaching circles. The Cowboys are looking to fill a void left by Dan Quinn, and they want someone who can maximize their elite secondary talent. Meanwhile, the Jets are in a state of flux and are looking for a defensive mastermind who can maintain their high standard of play while potentially bringing a fresh perspective to their scheme. For the Vikings, this is a bittersweet moment. On one hand, it is a testament to Kevin O'Connell's ability to hire elite talent. On the other hand, losing a coach of this caliber right when the defense is finding its identity under Brian Flores could be a devastating blow. My sources indicate that the interviews are expected to take place very soon, and the Vikings are bracing for the possibility of a vacancy. Jones has a unique history, having coached under several different schemes, which makes him an incredibly attractive candidate for teams that want flexibility. He has been the glue guy in the Vikings defensive room, bridging the gap between the complex blitz packages of Brian Flores and the fundamental execution required in the secondary. If he leaves for Dallas or New York, he won't just be taking his playbook, he'll be taking years of institutional knowledge and player relationships that are nearly impossible to replace mid-cycle. We are hearing that the Cowboys are particularly aggressive in their pursuit, as they see Jones as a perfect fit for their star-studded roster. The Jets, however, offer the allure of the New York market and a chance to work with a defense that is already established as one of the league's best. This is a high-stakes chess match, and Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah are now tasked with potentially finding a replacement who can step in without missing a beat. The timing is also critical, as we are deep into the coaching carousel season where the best candidates are being snatched up daily. The Vikings cannot afford to be passive here. They must decide if they can offer Jones a promotion or a raise to keep him in the building, or if they have to let him spread his wings and pursue a coordinator role that would naturally be the next step in his career progression. The locker room is undoubtedly watching this closely, as the players in the secondary have a deep bond with Jones. This is the reality of success in the NFL. When your unit performs well, other teams will try to poach your best teachers. Stay tuned as we monitor every phone call and every flight manifest involving Durante Jones in the coming hours.
Now let's break down the deeper implications of this potential exit from an insider perspective, because the ripple effects of losing a defensive backs coach like Durante Jones go far beyond just a simple name change on the organizational chart. When you look at the Minnesota Vikings defensive structure under Brian Flores, the secondary is the most critical component. Flores runs a high-risk, high-reward system that relies on defensive backs who can play man-to-man coverage, understand complex blitz rotations, and tackle in open space. Jones has been the architect of that execution on the field. If he departs for the Dallas Cowboys or the New York Jets, the Vikings are not just losing a coach, they are losing the primary teacher of the most difficult position group in their scheme. From a salary cap and roster management perspective, the loss of an elite coach often forces a team to overinvest in veteran talent to compensate for a lack of developmental coaching. Under Jones, the Vikings were able to get high-level production out of mid to late-round picks and undrafted free agents. If a new coach comes in and cannot replicate that developmental success, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah might be forced to spend more aggressively in free agency to find finished products at cornerback and safety, which would put a massive strain on the team's long-term cap health. Furthermore, we have to look at the Brian Flores factor. Flores is a demanding leader who expects perfection from his assistants. Jones and Flores had developed a shorthand that allowed the Vikings to adjust their coverages on the fly in the middle of games. Replacing that chemistry is not something that happens overnight. If the Vikings promote from within, they risk elevating someone who isn't ready for the spotlight. If they hire from the outside, they risk bringing in a coach who doesn't mesh with Flores' unique philosophy. The interest from the Cowboys is particularly interesting because they are a direct NFC rival in terms of playoff positioning. If Jones goes to Dallas and helps their secondary reach another level, the Vikings could literally be handed a loss by their former coach in a high-stakes postseason matchup. The Jets' interest is equally concerning because it shows that the league views Jones as a system-independent talent who can succeed anywhere. This increases his leverage and his price tag. For the Vikings' depth chart, the departure of Jones could create a period of instability for young players like Akylov Evans and Mekhi Blackman, who are still in the formative stages of their NFL careers. These players rely on consistency in coaching to refine their technique. A change in voice at this juncture could stall their development or lead to a regression in their play. We also have to consider the optics of the situation. Kevin O'Connell wants to build a coaching tree, which is a sign of a healthy program, but you don't want your tree to be harvested before you've even reached a Super Bowl. The Vikings are at a crossroads where they must decide how much they value their internal continuity versus the natural professional growth of their staff. My analysis suggests that if Jones is offered a full defensive coordinator role with play-calling duties, it will be almost impossible for Minnesota to keep him, unless they offer him a senior assistant title and a massive pay increase. However, in the NFL, the title of coordinator is the ultimate gold medal for assistants. We are looking at a situation where the Vikings might have to pivot to a veteran replacement, like a retired former coordinator or a rising star from the college ranks. Regardless of the outcome, the fact that the Vikings are in this position proves that the culture in Minnesota is moving in the right direction, even if it causes some short-term pain in the coaching offices. The next few days will be defining for the 2024 defensive outlook. If Jones stays, it's a massive win for stability. If he goes, the search for his successor will be the most important storyline of the offseason for the Vikings defense. We will be right here to track every move and provide the deep dive analysis that you can only get from a Schefter-level insight. The stakes have never been higher for the secondary, and the ripple effects of this interview process will be felt for seasons to come.